It's windy out here today. It's a bit on the colder side, so as I think I said earlier, the thing about winter is like my hair starts going all over the place. So that's something that I started getting used to. It's quite fun, but it can be annoying. It can be annoying, because some of my hairs will just go deep into my ear canal, and like it gets tingly. I'm like, nope, I have to move it out of the way. And it gets more annoying when I wear headphones. Uh, every time I put on the ear pads, like I put on like the headphones, I have to like move my hair aside so I can make room for the headphones to actually um, fit properly. Yeah, and it's pretty windy, so I don't know what the audio is like. Actually, yeah, I don't know. The wind. There's nothing much I can do about the wind, so I can like get close to it and start speaking like this. No matter. I'm back in this place. Same scenery. Not much has changed. Maybe it grew more hair, just a bit. I don't know if this is like peak hair for me, but yeah, definitely it's been a long hair growing journey. It has been. Well, there were a few updates. I don't know if I mentioned, but like many months ago, I don't know why I didn't I mention this, but it's good news. My mom's cancer thing was actually resolved. The symptoms that she was exhibiting were akin to terminal cancer. Extreme, like she was going through excruciating pain, and it wasn't looking too good. The symptoms, at least, but they said, we still have to like run further tests, and she underwent like an emergency surgery. And after many months, like she was exhibiting symptoms still, but with in my mom's case, my mom is like suffering from all kinds of health like issues. So could be from anything, to be honest, now that I think about it in retrospect. So in the end, the conclusion was the surgery actually was it saved her, and the tumor was actually no longer spreading. It was contained. Didn't It didn't go terminal, so cancer is effectively cured. Which was great news. I don't know why didn't I share that. I don't know if I did. I can't recall. I go on and rant about a lot of things in those. But usually, generally, there's like a general theme or a point or something I want to vent about. And I will talk about something here. Just I thought I'd start off with something good at least. Some good news, good updates that came through. Like, I don't know why didn't I share this earlier, but that's that. My mom won her second cancer fight with cancer. First one was in like 20. It was actually in like 2011, but then 2013, like it ended in like late 2013 or early 2014, something like that. But this one's kind of worrying actually. Yeah, this one was worrying because this one is like far more advanced. Anyhow, well, no, so I came here a couple of times. Fucking hell, the wind is absolutely strong in this one. I mean, my jacket can hide it for a bit. Like I can stand the wind is blowing from behind me, so my hair is gonna look hella funny. But no, what a view! Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Is this her POV? What the hell? All right, okay. What was I saying? Yeah, so I met her for the first time since we broke up. It's like a couple of weeks ago at this point. Yeah. It was like a most randomly scheduled meeting. Rendezvous somewhere near this place where I'm standing right now, actually. Just like a 2 minute drive from here. And she was the one who's mostly doing the talking. I was just there trying to not burst in tears or get extremely emotional or I was trying to hold myself. That's what I was really trying to hold it in because I had so many questions. I was really pissed off. I wanted to vent a lot. But I was just listening, I was holding it in, I was listening. And then the more I listen, the more I see, like, look, okay, she's doing well. I guess she's at a point in which she is doing much better for herself. And all I was saying is, like, I was like, wow, that's cool. That is very nice. I'm glad to hear. And like, of course, I'm saying that like genuine. I genuinely mean it. Like, yeah, that's good for you. Good for you. She's talking about. She's like literally 99%. She took over the entire like conversation. She was like, it was so one-sided. Most of it was one-sided. Like, I wanted to talk, like, okay, she gave me most updates from her, but a lot of the shit that she was saying was really irrelevant. Like, I couldn't care less about your family drama. I care about you as a person. That's what I was trying to like. I was trying to like really point into that, talking about that. But I don't think she was really willing to talk about it all that much. She was really just trying to like talk about random shit from like whatever her mind is at. Which is kind of, honestly, it is kind of sad. It is. But that's how it went down. I didn't want to like interfere. Like, I just let her be. But yeah, she pretty much hijacked the whole conversation. But like, I did give her like a quick recap of my story. Going through a shock state, doing therapy, mom's disease. I don't know if I didn't tell her much about that, like beyond my own. Like, I didn't tell her much about my own suffering, but I just gave her like the headlines. Like, oh yeah, so this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. Yes, and like on the other side, like her on the other hand, she was pretty much hijacking the whole thing, like talking about it, like completely unsolicited. Like, nobody fucking asked about your friend's drama or yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna be ranting about that thing. Like, yeah, it's just it was such a weird conversation, and when I left, I was completely unsatisfied with that meeting. Like, I was so pissed, and I wanted to at least have that gesture, at least walk her home as just a gesture, so I can like be at ease in some sense. She didn't even let me do that. I understand she just wanted to walk home alone like that, so I was like, I didn't want to force her, but I was really trying to insist on at least taking her home as a gesture. Call it chivalry, call it, I don't know. It's just, I was trying to, if we were to part ways right there and then, I would have been fine if I actually ended with me taking her home, walking her all the way home, but that didn't happen. So I left the meeting completely not confused. It's just I was really pissed off is a bit extreme, but still I was really not satisfied at all. I wasn't. I wanted to talk a lot more, and I know she wasn't really feeling. I don't think she was in a place where she would have talked about herself and her own well-being in depth. She would have just rather talked about random gossip and bullshit and whatever it is that she is into, like the family drama and whatever weird shit that she's into. I really didn't care. all that all that bullshit drama that doesn't involve her directly. I mean, it's not about. I'm sorry, that's not the right way to put it. She's not. It's not about her as a person. Like, it's not her. It doesn't really concern. I'm concerned about her as a person, not her friends, not her circles, not her families, not her family shenanigans. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about all of that. And yet she just managed to drag a whole fucking like a 30-minute or a good hour long. Like, when we met, we talked for like 2 hours and a half, and she spent like almost like an hour or something talking about that one point. I would have been fine if we were together and, we were just talking about random shit, and she ends up talking about family, like, shenanigans and drama for like 3 hours, and I'll be like there, like sitting, how like the guy would just like listen, like, huh, okay, yeah, cool. I mean, I would probably take on that role if the point gets dragged on for too long, but I would genuinely pay attention for a while. Like, it's okay, an hour, 2 hours, I can handle that. It's fine. I can, like, be with you and like listen to you for like rant about something. Your friend pissed you off because or your cousin is being your cousin's being a bitch or whatever. Like, yeah, okay, cool. I can listen to that. That's fine. But we met for the first time since the breakup, in like 10 months, and yet she had the audacity to fuck. There's a lot of wind this direction. Okay, I think this is better. Right. Yet she just managed to talk about completely irrelevant stuff, like stuff that doesn't concern me. Don't know what was going on in her mind back then, like right then and there. But yeah, that's what happened a couple of weeks ago. Met for the first time, and I left the meeting completely unsatisfied. I didn't talk much about my side. She mostly hijacked the whole conversation. But I let her be. I didn't want to force my shit on her. And like, I literally just gave her when I was in the spotlight at last. She didn't like tell me anything, so didn't feel like I have to tell her anything at that point. Like, she told me everything, and she was completely transparent, and she talked about everything there is to talk about about her side of the story, her side of things. Now, I'm not talking about the shenanigans or the irrelevant stuff. I'm talking about the things that do concern me about her. But she didn't, so I wasn't really feeling like, oh yeah, I'm not obliged to talk about my side of the story and the shit that I went through, the shit that I talked about in these kind of videos, the shit that I talked about earlier in these kind of videos that I posted on this throwaway channel or whatever it is. I didn't feel obliged to talk about all that. I just gave her the headlines. Shit happened, I've been stuck at home, completely like mute, not really doing much. I was in a really shitty state for like 4 months, and my mom got sick. My sister, one of my sisters got married, and I moved houses. I guess that's what happened. Literally, like my part. I didn't like talk for more than 10 minutes, something like that. Yeah, I would have wanted to, but when she hijacked the whole thing, when she hijacked the whole conversation, I tried, soliciting her to talk about her side of the story, but she didn't. So I felt like I wouldn't have to speak about that. Even though I would have liked. I mean, the whole point of the meeting is for us to, finally talk. And they're like, yeah, at last, can we fucking talk about whatever the fuck happened back then? But she didn't. She just. Oh yeah, we met. Yes, we did. But she just. The whole meeting went in a completely different direction, and honestly, it really triggers me. So that's that's an update. That's an update right there. Well, she has no idea. And I didn't talk about a lot about this Like I didn't talk about this yet, but like how when the time she broke up with me, I just I was just this close to talking to talk to my I was so close to talking to my parents to start talking about to my parents about considering her as a prospect for, well, marriage. I was literally about to open up that topic. I know we were only together for like 6 months, but like, wow, I was, deeply enamored. I think that's the word. I don't know. It's like there's a Spanish equivalent for that. That's why. Whatever. Enamorado. Yeah, I think that's the word. So I was deeply in love, right? Deeply enamored. There you go. I think that's the word. I think it's enamored. Yeah, whatever. English is not my strongest subject. Okay, no, but seriously, uh, uh, I was so close to talking to my parents about that prospect. Like, oh yeah, like my mom already had like some knowledge about the relationship. My dad had none at all. We're like more disconnected. My mom just had like a faint kind of idea. Like she doesn't really know the person. She doesn't know her. And this is my sisters that knew. They knew very very well. Like they know her by face, by name, by they know her. But my parents not so much. Especially my dad. He's like completely disconnected in that regard. But I know like I just wanted to talk to them like just to get their advice. That's all. Like, I would have probably made the move anyways after I'm ready. Like when I'm ready, I'm not. Even right now, I'm not ready. Like even if I did started talking, it was going in a good direction. I wouldn't have made a move right now because I haven't really settled down. When I settle down and have a job and have like a proper like a well established, I establish myself here with a career and an income, with job security and all that good stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't have achieved it yet, as of like now at this date, which is um, late March. I know. Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. Like the earliest I would have been in such a position would have been like June or July. That's would have been like the earliest. And even then, I would have to give myself some time to, rack up some cash and savings and to be able to like live a fairly good life. Just be able to take care of myself and her. Should it come down to that scenario, but it didn't. So that scenario didn't pan out. So that's kind of clear at this point, right? I was so close. I was so close to making my first move towards pursuing that prospect of marriage. Well, she's like literally the first. She's the first person I was considering that scenario for. Like I didn't really consider that scenario with anyone else. Like with others, like when I try to make something work, I literally just fail at establishing a relationship or start a relationship. Like I could like it's not I couldn't like I tried, but like not the feeling is not mutual. Get friend zoned and that all that fun stuff. Get rejected. But this is the first time, like the first real relationship, and it's also the first time I really felt like what, she's the one, right? Things were amazing. I thought she was like ideal. Uh, yeah. Well, then the bombshell came through. Yeah, and then you see, when I was at such a spot, thought things were all good. My mind was like, was thinking really long term about it. That's why I don't know if you noticed from the first videos, I was literally like shocked because I came from that spot, from having envisioned something like that, something of the sort, something beautiful, a family, having our own place, our own house, something like that. But yeah, I was when I had that thing in mind as like a goal, like okay, I want to achieve that in the long term, and then you get a bombshell being like a bomb being dropped suddenly like that. One could imagine how painful that could turn out to be. And let me tell you from experience, it is quite painful. It's quite painful. So yeah, it pissed me off, man. The whole thing, like, I wanted to finally talk. Like, we met for the first time since the breakup after 10 months. Like, not far from a year, and yet she I'm not exactly. Yeah, I don't know. It's good that she is in a better place. That's definitely, that's a good thing. I wouldn't wish her to, you know, suffer as much as I did. I wouldn't want that to happen to her. Fucking hell! Should I just go to the car? It's too windy. I wouldn't want her to suffer, especially not as much as I did. And frankly, it's good. It's a good thing that she is doing well. She's doing well. She has, close friends now. She hangs out with. I don't really have close friends. Although no, there's Imad as well, but like, it's kind of like, distanced, and we don't hang out as much. But definitely, credit is where credit is due. He is, the closest friend I had in my life, and he's been around since 2011, 12. Yeah, almost a decade we've been together. And we've been like pretty much brothers. We both been there for each other throughout tough times. His dad passed away recently, so that's also one reason. Like, I had to. We were. We weren't talking that much because he was in a really bad place, and I was trying to keep in touch with him just to make sure he's okay. He's okay right now. He's okay. But yeah, well, like, we weren't talking that much because both of us were like going through tough times. Like, he had his own problems, I have my own problems, and as much as we tried to be there for each other, we couldn't do much. Like, and in real life, like here in Qatar, I didn't have anyone to hang out with. I literally didn't have anyone. I would go to eat alone. I always spend 90% of my time in solitude, and it sucks. She, on the other hand, good for her. She has close friends she always hangs out with. She goes out to picnics and stuff like that. I was like, when she was telling me about all that, I was like, yeah, man, good on you. Awesome. That's great. That is nice. That's like one of the few points that when she was actually genuinely talking about her side of the story. And I was like, okay, that's awesome. That's cool. I'm glad. I'm happy for you. I was saying all that, and I'm saying it with like genuine, like I genuinely mean it. It's just that, still, I don't know. It's not like, I just want to understand exactly what was on her mind when the shit happened between us. What was exactly on her mind? And why am I clinging to this false hope of we can make this work still? Like, why am I don't know. There's something deep in me that's like, am I still trying? Okay, like I got, when I say I got over it completely, just the fact that it's been almost a year and it's still the whole relationship really still, it's just, the whole thing confuses me at the moment. It really does. I don't even know how to articulate it properly, but she meant so much to me. When we were together, she meant so much to me. Like, she did. And I thought we had something genuine between us, and the fact that I was seriously, considering the prospects of marriage, should say something, should be a testament to, well, how I felt about her. Fucking, I have my hair. Oh shit! I probably should go to the car. Yeah, but the way things ended up just was it was a massive shock. I mean, of course, it would obviously be a massive shock if someone you thought that you'd have a future with just suddenly shuts that entire dream down in just a single message. A single long message. That one long message. That bombshell that she dropped. Oh shit. Well, I don't know why. It feels like I'm clinging onto this thing. But it's in the same time. There's a pragmatic part of it. It says me like, dude, it's over. Like it's way, like it's broken, way beyond repair. Like there's. Wait, let me just open the car. I'm here now, so. So yeah. Okay, it's windy as shit. Let me take off my jacket. How do I do this? Oh yeah, I forgot. I have this thing here. Okay, good. Let me just take off my jacket. It's kind of like 20 degrees outside, so it's kind of on a slightly cooler side, so okay, good. I can take this thing and turn on the AC, so there will be some wind blowing. Okay, as I was saying, and there will be some wind, but it's not the same wind as the wind that's outside. It's much worse. Anyhow, so I thought I had a prospect with. Okay, so yeah, I don't know why I cling on to this false hope that I'm trying to repair something that just can't be repaired, right? Like imagine if your son turns gay, you try to repair him because you have this fatherly. You first maybe you're not used to, you didn't expect that, and you were caught off guard like, no, it has to be a disease, it has to be a disorder, but then you realize that no, if they're gay, that's it, it's they're gay, it's part of who they are. That's it. You gotta accept it. For me, I feel like I might still be in denial, and in case I didn't disclose that already, I think at this point I made it kind of obvious. Basically, let's just say there was this incompatibility when it comes to sexuality. So that was sort of the whole premise, the whole reason for the breakup. Yeah. So apparently, she didn't like guys. I was like, okay, so what does that mean for our relationship? And it just blocked, basically. That's basically how it went. So, yeah, I was sort of devastated when I heard that for the first time. I mean, I was trying to be understanding. I'm cool with, like, for example, if she was bisexual, I would have been fine with her. Like, dude, that means you still like guys. What's the problem? I mean, as long as you can commit to a single, like, relationship, you have to choose. It's okay if you like, other girls. If it's okay. There's nothing. I don't think there's anything wrong with bisexuals. I don't have nothing against people of all kinds of sexualities. When it comes to my own relationships, there needs to be some compatibility for it to work. Obviously, there needs to be some compatibility. Now, I can date pansexuals, bisexuals, straight women. It doesn't matter as long as there's compatibility. Because me as a straight guy with someone else who also can, can have a compatible sexual orientation, that would be fine with me. I'm cool with it. I don't care if she should be bi or pan or whatever or any of the good stuff. So, but she turned out to be like an incompatible sexuality. I'm like, okay, so what does that mean for us? You can't be together. That caught me off guard. And you see, I try to fix that. Like, okay, it's not something I can fix. Obviously, it's not something I can fix. But did you figure? Like, she apparently is not. It's like she doesn't even really know her sexuality. She doesn't. And I just asked, like, okay, like, I would like to ask, like, what are you now? Where are you now in your journey? Like, did you like figure out something? Would you like still date guys, or is there any chance that we could try? It's like me trying to cling onto that, like, it's I know it's not gonna work. There's nothing much I can do at this point. Plus, soon in a few months, things will start. I'll start setting things in motion in an irreversible way. And what does that mean? Here's another piece of news that I have not disclosed, at least publicly, as of yet. I got accepted to... Actually, before I can even say that, I was applying to many universities to do masters, right? I was applying to universities abroad, mainly abroad, and they're all legit, like, prestigious universities, like, Harvard, MIT, Melbourne, Dartmouth, Sydney, USC, all the good stuff. All those big universities, big boys, and like I didn't even bother like applying to a safety school, as people call it, or like and a school that's easier to get into. No, they're all prestigious, highly competitive colleges. I want to apply for masters. Now, I didn't really care which country it is, and frankly, I'm not really bound to this country anymore, where I live. Ever since she dumped me, I'm no longer bound to this place. That's it. I don't have family. I don't have parents here or a family base here. I don't have a base here, and the only reason I would have stayed maybe was for her, because I wanted to be with her. But now that she's out of the equation, there is nothing that binds me to this place anymore. And that is why I was like, okay, fine, there are opportunities outside, try to get them. So I applied for some jobs outside. All the big, what do you call it? The, Microsoft's, Apple, Google, yeah, so, what is it called? Yeah, FANG, there you go, they call them FANG, or GAFAM, or some people call it, whatever. So FANG, yeah, the big corporations. I was applying to those, big companies, Amazon, different kinds of roles that are like, cool roles, I guess, management, like, middle management, even like I even dare to do management, but like, generally like engineering positions, like, at all those different companies. In addition to that, I was applying to masters, but like with masters, I know like I have to tame my expectations, because my total grades are not exactly spectacular or impressive. It's not exactly spectacular. So I'm barely making barely making that minimum requirements for those, like, barely. But that's because I'm literally at the moment I'm literally just clutching through the last year and a half of studies, getting 4.0s, AAA top in class across all courses, pretty much. That's what's happening. Like, back then I had lackluster grades, and then now I'm just trying to push my average up, but there's not much I can do because I'm on the final lap. When you're in the final lap, you can't do much about the averages of your past performance. You can't push it that much. There's only so much you can do about it. But I was like, okay, fine. This is the final lap. Let me give it my all. And frankly, like, this is like the results I've been getting are just top notch. 4.0. You can't get any better than that. Top in class, everything. Now, I was like, okay, you know what? I can take advantage of this nice comeback story that I can, write up, or I can like discuss, like talk, or try to make a statement about how I've developed over the past 6 years at the university. It's been 6 years I've been stuck at this uni, and doing my bachelor's. So it's like a comeback story. So I try to spin it that way. Applied to many universities. Again, MIT, Harvard, Sydney, USC, Melbourne, Dartmouth, Ivy League, Ivy League, and then all the way to the west in California, Stanford, USC, and Dartmouth and Hanover, and all those big universities. Very selective, very competitive ones. And I didn't expect much out of it because I know that my if they strictly look at my grades and like they probably ain't gonna do much with it because I'm not exactly the topper or like a 3.99999 GPA summa maxima cum laude extreme edition pro ultra. Probably has more Latin honor titles than there are iPhone variants. So it's not like I don't have that. I'm not that kind of guy who number one in the country in math Olympics or some shit like that. So I'm not, but I do have some not extracurricular. I do have a decent CV, and I do have some grades to recent performance to that are notable. So I tried to spin it that way and applied. Being ambitious as fuck because MIT, Harvard, big universities, right? Funny enough, I actually got registered for most of them, but I actually got accepted with a scholarship to my number one program in terms of preference. I actually got accepted at the University of Sydney, so USyd, to do a double masters, one in IT and the other in IT management. So it's a 2-year combined, 2 masters, there with a scholarship. It's actually a partial scholarship, an award that they give to international students. So I got an opportunity now. I got an offer. So yeah, great. I actually got an offer. I was surprised. I might even roll the video here. I don't know if you wanna see it, but I can cut it into the video. I don't know. Otherwise, if I don't include it, whatever. I'm probably not gonna bother editing this video. I'm just gonna upload it straight as it is. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'd show it somewhere in my social media or something like that. But I did record my reaction, so that's cool, I guess. Anyhow, I got accepted. It's a conditional offer, but the condition is that I finish my bachelor's. Yeah, obviously, duh. You have to, have a bachelor's before you can pursue a master's. That's normally the condition. I didn't finish my bachelor's. I just applied early to, because applications close at June, and I applied back in January. So I just started trying to get an early admission kind of thing, and I did. So great. I have an offer from a top university. I didn't expect to get it. It's highly competitive, the admissions, but I got through. So once I graduate, I will just hand them my papers, and they'll give me the unconditional offer. And if I really wanted to go to Sydney, I'll go settle there on a permanent basis. I do not have a home base here, and I have nothing to do with this place now. After I finish graduating, I either find a job or I'll just get deported. Well, not deported, my visa expires. That's it. You have to leave. Unfortunately, this is the reality of being a third culture kid. You always live on a ticking residence permit or a ticking visa. That has an expiration date, and you have to renew every time. You do not have rights here to stay here permanently. You don't have a permanent address. I don't. And definitely I'm not going to the country of my citizenship. I never lived there. I don't think I'll be able to live there. I wouldn't be able to function in that society. It's completely different, and it does not help people like me, with my kind of mentality, my languages. They don't speak the same language exactly. So, and people of my skill are not exactly. It would be a waste of potential there, I guess. So yeah, I wouldn't go there. But Australia seems like a good place to go to. Now, I still didn't make a final decision on the matter, but I do have this standing offer, which is cool. I might take it. It is definitely the only offer I actually got. I still didn't hear from the others. I said there's a few others I haven't heard from. I heard from MIT. They said no. Harvard said no. Stanford said no. Dartmouth said no. No, Dartmouth is probably the most selective of all. Or MIT actually also is very selective. Stanford actually is a bit easy, like in comparison. They're all like sub 10% when it comes to acceptance rates. So, but Sydney accepted me, which is cool. So I'm still waiting for the others like Melbourne and USC. I still haven't received these, but for now, that's what I got. I got an offer. I told her about this offer, and she was like, "Go take it." I'm like, "Wow, you're not fazed by it, apparently. Interesting." It's just, I honestly don't know what to think. I know nothing binds me to this place anymore. I'm free to leave. She's out of the equation, and then deep inside, like, I'm telling myself, is she though? Is she out of the equation? Is she? Almost at this point, I don't know. I try to think about it. Maybe hoping that the day before I make up my mind, like just before I have to make a decision about the offer, she comes back to my arms and we'll be back together. And maybe then that dream of the dream that I've once had, will maybe be back alive. Yeah, fuck yeah, like that, like that's gonna happen. But I'm pretty sure there's you can say there's a lot of fish in the sea, and maybe if I go to Australia, the environment helps. The people there probably be more fitting, like for me, probably. I'm not sure, but maybe because it does, like, they're more open than they are here, and I've already discussed environmental differences, especially like the social life there versus here. I might work better or function better there in Australia. And again, it's a prospect. It's an offer I'm considering. Like I seriously am looking at it like it's hard to beat that offer. Like career wise as well. Woo, University of Sydney it's a great university. Getting a master's there with like actually getting 2 masters in one shot, doing a combined coursework there. And then it's high employability as well, so I guess that's an additional benefit. Get hired there, settle down there, maybe establish myself, maybe get a permanent residence there, a citizenship, have a permanent address, have a base for myself, like a permanent address. Not like I'm not always on a visa. And like I can stay in the same country for 16 years, yet they'll never give me a citizenship or recognize me or give me any of those rights or acknowledge me as one of their own. Saudi Arabia and Qatar, these are the 2 countries I lived in for a really long time, and they don't recognize me as they don't give me any right to live or work there, even though I've lived there. I was born there. Jus sanguinis, not jus soli, like many other countries. That's how their nationality law is based on those principles. By blood, you come to the land, you do not get naturalized that easily, and the only way you can get it is through parents. You can get the citizenship, that right to work and that right to stay. And yeah, if I try to go to Saudi Arabia right now, I can't. I have to get a visa. Even though I was born and raised there 16 years, I cannot just go there. Even though people have my name in their like birth certificates and like I have records there, they just won't let me in. It's pretty funny, but that's the case for me. Yeah, so Australia, that's one destination that is possible. I might take it, and I have until June to accept. I have until like late June to accept. But if I was to accept, I have to accept by early June, like first week of June. I have to accept because then it'll give me time to submit my visa application, because visas can take over a month. A month time is not. Yeah. I have to be quick. So yeah. Um, but regarding her, no idea. No idea what to do. That meeting we had, not satisfied with it. Feel like there's a lot missing from that conversation. There's something missing. There's definitely at least something missing. My mind's telling me like, no, there's something we haven't talked about. Yeah. What the fuck? Like, we didn't talk about what the hell was going on in her mind at the time. So there's a car somewhere there. Like, oh, okay, never mind. It's cool. I don't know. There's something was off in that meeting that we had. I mean, I wouldn't mind scheduling another meeting with her, given that it'll be more fulfilling than the first one. But I did feel really just unsatisfied, agitated, slightly pissed off after that meeting. And I was like on the verge of crying the whole time because, when I saw her for that first time after she dumped me, and she dumped me over text. And so the first time I saw her face to face, she was walking from a distance. I felt this rush of emotions going through me. I was really this adrenaline was pumping. I don't know. There was this. I was being over. Yeah, there was this rush that I've had. It's like there's this scenario that I've plotted in my head, and it's going down, and the more we talk, we end up talking, and yeah, it was no, it wasn't really the talk that I had in mind, that the meeting, but when we were crossing paths or whatever, we were like, walking opposite sides, we're like finally meeting. It's kind of fucking dramatic if you think about it. But when we actually when I saw her figure from afar, that's I was like, oh yeah, that's her. Okay, that's her, and I felt a rush of emotions, man. But I suppressed it throughout the whole meeting. I was suppressing it. I managed to suppress it. I didn't really show any. I didn't show any emotions or whatever. I kept myself pretty well suppressed. I didn't think she would be. She was able to tell that I was actually on the verge of crying. All these months, and I still daily, man, daily. I still do that daily. I still have to mention her name once in bed or something like that. Saying things repeatedly, daily. I have to say things like, I thought you were the one. Things like, like, the I love you bomb, something like that. Imagining her. Yeah, it still happens daily, but like I think about it daily. That's true. And I repeat the same set of words daily in when I'm vulnerable. During those times when I'm vulnerable, when I'm in bed or when I'm eating alone, yeah, all those times I always imagine, her next to me in bed or opposite, sitting next to me in the restaurant, something like that. And I just imagine that and utter those same words. It's just the same set of words, and sometimes just there's the spite that comes out of me now. I just start saying things out of frustration. We had a good thing going on. What happened? I was so close to thinking about getting married. Wow. And I say like things like "I love you," and things like uh, "I thought you were the one," and we'll always be together. Uh, yeah, same set of words, same kinds of expressions, same thing. You get the gist. Nah, yeah, I always it happens daily. But like I didn't tell her much about that. So yeah, but basically, um, that's I have that thing in my shit. Yeah, I always think the same thing um, every every night, every time, every vulnerable time of the day. So, but of course she doesn't know that. So she doesn't know that that's what I'm going through. I didn't get to talk about that a lot, and obviously, even if I did talk, I wouldn't mention that part. I wouldn't mention that I say things like I miss you or I love you or whatever, like even 10 months after the breakup. Don't know what that does. I don't know. The relationship is literally fucking 6 months long. It didn't last too long. It's not exactly like a long last. It wasn't a long lasting relationship. It's still like the only real relationship I've had. It's but 6 months long only. It didn't last an eternity. But yeah, yeah. 10 months later, and it still fucking hurts. It hurts. So of course, but definitely things got better. I have, scored, top grades, best grades. I've been doing very well with studies. I got an offer from an amazing university, from my most preferred program over everything. Kind of a dream program, and I just suddenly got accepted. So I have an opportunity to go pursue something very, awesome for my career. Something that, make a big step in, like, towards the next chapter of my life. And, to like just close the chapter here in Qatar. 8 years here has been great. I mean, great, whatever. I already talk about how the last years went. So, yeah. But like, I can start a new chapter in Australia. I mean, I have some friends there, so I could. But still, like, I mean, yeah, I have the offer, but I can't help but think about her as well. Like, if I accept the offer, there's no way we can ever be together again. That's what I meant in the beginning. Earlier on, I said I'll start putting things in motion in like an irreversible way or an irreversible manner. I said the moment I move out, that's it. Like, I won't be back here in the long term. I won't. Maybe I'll be back here in like 15 years when I'm in a really senior position, and once I've established my base, my permanent address, and then I'm like free to, relocate again back to Qatar or whatever other country to get, decent business opportunities or career opportunities here maybe. But I need to establish myself first, and doing that takes many years, and a lot of effort, a lot of hard work, and many years. It takes a lot of time. It's not. I don't establish myself right off the bat. Like, I graduate in the bank, I have a base. That's not how it works. Right now I have an offer to go start something. It helps me, like, spend 2 years studying there, and then just spend a couple more years working, and there you go. I'll first step, get a permanent residency. Once you get a permanent residence, I can, I'll get a citizenship. After citizenship, maybe then I can, buy a house, something like that. Have like a, my own a house or a land in my name, and then maybe once I'm like in a really senior position or a really good position that I get offers here or somewhere else, then maybe I'll take them. But just the point is, if I leave right now, we're not gonna be a thing. Unless she moves to Sydney for some fucking reason, I don't think so. Which I doubt, but if she moves to Sydney, then maybe we can make something work if she wants to. But once I move out, that's it. And of course, at that point, I'll have to look elsewhere. Try to live there and see how things go. But yeah, as for here, Qatar, I can't start shit here. I can't start anything. Yeah, I have this scenario like, what if we get engaged, and then I can go outside and study and establish myself, and then we'll get married once I graduate from my masters and get a job, and then you can move in with me in Australia and establish our base there. Again, it's pathetic. It's not gonna happen. And just have to get over it, right? Get over it. 10 months. It's been 10 months, man. Why am I still talking about this? No, I fucking didn't get this emotional in a while. But when I met her, I got extremely. My anxiety was through the roof. My adrenaline was rushing. I felt completely. I don't know. It was that moment when I saw her for the first time after she broke up with me. That was a really tough moment for me. But I held it together actually pretty well. I suppressed my feelings, didn't break down in front of her, something like that. But the moment I left her I left her to walk home alone, I broke down in the car quite dramatically. I was getting kind of hysterical in the car. When I when I left her and I went to my car, I got kind of hysterical. Just for a brief, for a little bit, and then I was okay. But I realized thinking about the whole meeting, I'm just not satisfied with it. I'm just not satisfied with how it went. What the fuck is wrong with you talking about all kinds of unnecessary bullshit? I don't really care. 90% of what she talked about is shit I don't care about. I seriously don't give a fuck about your sister's, your cousin's mishaps or whatever. I don't give a shit. What about you? What have you done? How have you been getting along? How were you doing? How was it for you, the whole experience of breaking up? She didn't talk about that at all. She did talk about some other things about her, she hangs out with friends. She spends more time with herself. Her new she got into some few things. The way. Well, that's So. And all I could have said, all I could say at that time was good for you. Wow, that's great. Good on you. Very nice. Very nice. While internally I was literally just crying. But at the same time I was yeah, that's good on you. You're holding up. I'm glad you're holding up. But but is there any possibility that we can maybe nope, get shut down? Nope, no way. Gotta get over it. Yeah, whatever. This is a fucking frustrating vlog. It's almost it's pretty much an hour now.
Um, I don't know, man. That's all. That's all there is. I don't have anything more to say. I'm not gonna waste any time. Bye.